Stop taking your multivitamins and your generic protein shakes and listen to me very carefully, because what I am about to share with you in the next few minutes could genuinely change the trajectory of your health for the rest of your life. I am not exaggerating. I have spent over 3 decades studying how the human body ages, how it breaks down, and more importantly, how it repairs itself. And what I have discovered is that most of what you have been told about eating well after 60 is fundamentally incomplete. Not wrong exactly, but dangerously incomplete. And that gap, that missing piece, is costing people their independence, their strength, and their quality of life far earlier than it needs to. A landmark study published by the Harvard Chan School of Public Health followed over 110,000 adults for more than 2 decades. What they found was extraordinary. People who consistently consumed specific anti-inflammatory regenerative foods reduced their risk of physical disability by up to 43% and extended their functional independence by an average of 11 years. 11 years. That is not a small number. That is more than a decade of walking without a cane, climbing stairs without holding the railing, playing with your grandchildren on the floor, and getting up from that floor without needing help. And the foods responsible for those results are not exotic or expensive. You may already have some of them in your kitchen right now. Now, before we go any further, I want to tell you that number 2 on today's list is something that almost no one in the medical community talks about for people over 65. And when I share the Harvard and Oxford data behind it, I think you are going to be genuinely shocked. So stay with me all the way through. But first, before we dive in, I want to hear from you. Drop your age in the comments below and tell me, what is one physical limitation that bothers you most right now? Is it stiff joints in the morning, muscle weakness, slow recovery after any kind of activity? I personally read every single comment on this channel, and your answers genuinely help me decide what to cover next. So please take 10 seconds and leave that comment. Now, today we are counting down from 3 to 1, ranked from powerful to absolutely remarkable. The 3 superfoods that research shows can help repair your body faster than your doctor may have told you was even possible. Let us start with number 3. Number 3 may surprise you because it is not a trendy supplement. It is not something you will see advertised on late-night television, and it does not come in a capsule. Number 3 is wild-caught salmon. And I need you to understand why this is fundamentally different from anything else you could eat for your body's repair systems. Here is what happens inside your body after the age of 60 that most physicians do not take the time to explain. Your cells, the mitochondria specifically, which I want you to think of as the tiny power generators inside every single cell you have, begin to malfunction. They produce less energy. They generate more harmful byproducts called free radicals, and they communicate less efficiently with the rest of the body. This is not just about feeling tired. Mitochondrial dysfunction is directly linked to muscle wasting, joint degradation, cognitive decline, and slowed healing from injuries. By the time you reach 75, research from the Buck Institute for Research on Aging shows that mitochondrial efficiency in skeletal muscle has declined by as much as 35% compared to your younger years. Wild-caught salmon contains 2 compounds that directly address this problem in ways that no other common food can match. The first is omega-3 fatty acids, specifically EPA and DHA, in concentrations that are dramatically higher than farm-raised salmon. Think of EPA and DHA like a fire suppression system for your body. Chronic inflammation, which is the low-grade simmering kind that you cannot feel, but that is silently damaging your joints, your arteries, and your muscle tissue every single day, is the primary driver of accelerated aging. A meta-analysis from the University of Pittsburgh involving over 68,000 participants found that consistent omega-3 consumption reduced inflammatory markers, specifically something called C-reactive protein, by an average of 32% in adults over 65. But here is where it gets even more interesting, and this is what they rarely tell you. Wild-caught salmon is also one of the richest dietary sources of something called azacanthin, a carotenoid, which is a type of plant and marine pigment that is 10 times more powerful as an antioxidant than beta-carotene and 500 times more powerful than vitamin E. Research published in the journal Nutrients in 2021 showed that azacanthin actively improves mitochondrial function in aging muscle cells, essentially helping those power generators run cleaner and more efficiently. For someone dealing with sarcopenia, which is the medical term for the age-related loss of muscle mass, this is not a minor benefit. This is the difference between regaining functional strength and continuing to decline. I had a patient named Margaret, 71 years old, from Asheville, North Carolina. She came to me after her third fall in 18 months. Her legs felt like, in her own words, wet paper bags. She had given up gardening, which she had done her entire life. We made 3 dietary changes for Margaret, and wild-caught salmon twice a week was the first one. Within 4 months, her grip strength had improved by over 20% on the dynamometer. Within 8 months, she was back in her garden. She told me it felt like someone had turned a dimmer switch back up inside her body. For optimal results, you want at least 2 servings of wild-caught salmon per week, with each serving being approximately 4 to 6 ounces. The preparation matters. Do not fry it. Baking, poaching, or gentle pan-searing with olive oil preserves the omega-3 integrity far better than high-heat methods. And here's your synergy tip. Eat your salmon with a small amount of dark leafy greens like spinach or kale. The magnesium in the greens enhances cellular omega-3 uptake by almost 18% according to research from Tufts University, meaning your body absorbs and uses more of what that salmon is delivering. Now, number 2 is where this gets genuinely fascinating, because what I am about to tell you completely rewrites what most people believe about plant-based foods and body repair after 65. Number 2 is tart cherries, and specifically Montmorency tart cherries. And the data behind this humble overlooked fruit is nothing short of extraordinary. Most people think of tart cherries, if they think of them at all, as something for joint pain, maybe something you drink after a run. But researchers at the University of Michigan and separately at Northumbria University in the United Kingdom have uncovered something that goes far deeper than that. Tart cherries contain an exceptionally high concentration of specific anthocyanins, which are natural pigments, more than 17 unique varieties of them that interact directly with the body's inflammatory signaling pathways in a way that mimics and in some cases outperforms